Ladies and gentlemen, Foreign Correspondent of the Year, Marie Colvin.
A Private War, a new movie about Marie Colvin, the great journalist who traveled the globe into the most dangerous places, covering conflicts one after another, losing her eye even in the call of duty, and eventually dying during the Syrian civil war when she stayed behind. This is her story, and it could not come at a more opportune time. Journalists around the globe, and particularly in the United States, are under assault now for what they call fake news. The whole profession of journalism is taking a hit, and what a movie like this does is show the truth. These are people who put themselves on the front line. Journalists are there to bring the truth out to the people.
War is not so terrible for governments, for they are not wounded or killed like ordinary people. Our mission is to speak the truth to power.
Now, she was a very complex person, very complicated, and this movie does not stint at all in telling her story. Her story of a drift into booze, into rehab for PTSD, which she suffers just as soldiers suffer during war. And I really was impressed with the way Marie Colvin is played by Rosamund Pike, the great British actress here, who adopts a Long Island accent, nails her cadence of speech, her look, everything about her. To watch this performance, much of it played with that eye patch on, is to see a memorable turn. One of the best by an actress this year, there can be no question. And this movie is directed by Matthew Hyneman. Matthew Hyneman was nominated for an Oscar for his documentary Cartel Land, and then he did another movie, City of Ghosts. He is really an extraordinary documentarian, and what he's done is he's brought that own background, that own sense of that he has of going to these very dangerous places, putting himself in harm's way to get the story. That's what he does as a documentary filmmaker, and that's what he's done here in his very first narrative film as a director. He's done a great job with help from the screenwriter Rosamund, who has provided a very tough and interesting, riveting script to tell Marie Colvin's story. And we also see her own domestic crises, her own personal story too. She was married and divorced twice from the same man. That's going downhill. That sends her back out into the field, often against the wishes of her editor, played by Tom Hollander here. There's also her relationship with her photographer, who's out there in the field with her. He's played, his name is Paul, played by Jamie Dornan, that's right, of 50 Shades of Grey fame. Well, he's terrific here as this war photographer, and you see their relationship coming together in a very professional way. Stanley Tucci also shows up here as Tony Shaw, but Tony Shaw is the only character that really is a composite. There really wasn't a Tony Shaw, but there were men representing that character in her life as she finds new love.
I need a photographer. I've never found one I like. Let's see how you do.
No.
Yeah. You don't think I subscribe to all that, do you?
Where are we going?
Fallujah.
We can't just drive to Fallujah.
Why not?
Because we'll be targeted.
Are you scared?
No.
Good.
But her true love is bringing the story of these conflicts from around the world to people at her perch at the London Times, where she wrote. She was a terrific writer. Her loss was a great, great loss for journalism and for telling the truth, even as she had just appeared on CNN in an interview just moments before her eventual death. This movie tells it all in fascinating ways, and at the center of it is a great, great performance by Rosamund Pike. Really something to see and behold here. I recommend this movie. It's for serious adults looking for serious subject matter on the screen, and it represents a fine film debut in the narrative form by Matthew Hyneman. I say go.